us a little bit about the stretch time execution. You're up 3, and like you just can't turn the water off coming home.
Yeah, well, I thought more. Obviously, we didn't. You know, the last 3 minutes of the game got away from us, and I think I almost blame more of it on the offense. I thought we had a really good rhythm and momentum for such a long stretch there offensively, and then we kind of took a couple quick shots and didn't execute a couple things exactly right that we did, like out of a timeout one time, and you know you can't do that, and that puts you in the scramble back the other way, and I thought we were making some adjustments defensively as we were going there. It was getting a little better. I mean, obviously Irving and Horford were tough on us. And then Tatum hit that big 3 and Kyrie hit the deep one, you know, to kind of put the thing away.
What did you do in the third quarter defensively to turn things around? Because that's when you stopped.
Yeah, well, I just think the biggest thing that I saw in the second quarter, Jonesy, which was what we talked about at halftime, was our lack of physicality. I just didn't think we were into them enough. I didn't think we were fighting them through screens enough. We weren't fighting for post position enough. We weren't fighting for rebounds enough. You know, it was like, that's not very scientific, but it was a physicality thing. So I think we started, you know, playing a little bit more the way we needed to, and did so for a long stretch.
What can you do with Kyrie Irving? This is the second game that you guys have come in here and he's kind of put the game in his pocket.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look. We thought we got to a couple good coverages late there, but then he kind of hit that one in transition deep. You know, that was really we blocked a couple, stole a couple. We were into some good things there, you know, after he had, you know, about 24 or so, which that's kind of a light, not a super heavy night for him, right? It's not like but he was good. You know, that combination of Irving Horford is something that's difficult to guard, that's for sure.
You mentioned it was the kind of game you sort of expected here to be physical and tough and hard. Do you think you handled it generally well?
Well, yeah, Doug. I think, first of all, we came out ready to go and executed really well. Disappointed in the way our bench kind of responded. You know, that really turned the momentum of the game and then put us in chase mode a little bit. But we didn't, you know, I didn't think we, you know, we certainly didn't panic. We just kept playing. I thought we started finding some things. We had a session of stalled offense there in the second quarter too, where we just wouldn't move and cut, you know, and that's you know, the momentum and the crowd and stuff. Once in a while get you froze up a little bit like that, but we weathered through that with some confidence and not much panic, and got, you know, kind of got back in front and had put ourselves with a chance to win.
That bench group doesn't really have that kind of experience either, that tight game, intense physicality. They learn from this kind of thing?
Well, I will say this about them. They responded really well the second time around, right? Obviously, we talked to them at the half and had a big talk to them to start the fourth quarter. And most of it was you got to be aggressive, man. You know, we got to be aggressive and get it up the floor and start punching gaps and hit the paint. And we didn't do that in the second quarter, but we did in the fourth. They did a nice job in the fourth.
You've been using
Lowry and Leonard with that second unit, one of them. And tonight you went with Green. What went into the thinking of that?
It was just the matchups a little bit, and just kind of sometimes how it plays out with your rotations and things like that. Yeah. You know, looking back on it, I wish would have done something different. It didn't turn out very good.
Is this a game do they need one of those two in that unit to be sort of to match?
Well, I think it certainly helps them. I hope we got to get to a point maybe where they don't, right? And they didn't seem to last year, right? But it's a kind of a different group of guys, right? But you know, listen, you take the way they played in the fourth quarter, and then they're fine. But if they're going to come out and play tentatively and sit back and be back on their heels, then they're going to struggle against anybody's second unit, right? So it's that we're gonna those guys are gonna learn from this game. Again, they've had some really good games here as of late, right? You know, not all of them. There's been some bad ones in there too, but we've got to minimize those moments, and then they got to stop happening. They got to at least tread water. They don't need to be last year's team that puts up plus 15 every time they step on the floor, but they need to, when our first unit goes out and plays well and has a nice command of the game, they need to keep command of it.
You mentioned the way you guys were playing early in the fourth quarter offensively to get back in the game. At the end of the game, were they doing something different, or did you guys just start kind of trying to go shot for shot and forcing it a little bit? Because it seemed like it just turned from moving the ball around to doing stuff to kind of guys just jacking up shots.
We took a couple quick ones, Tim, for sure, right? And then we kind of mis-executed a set out of a timeout, right? And then that turned into a tough possession too, I think. They were just, our execution probably needed to be better, right? We kind of took a couple shots up the floor. I don't know. I might live with one or two of those, but you probably need to explore what had been working, because what we had been doing was working really well.
You used the word tentative. Was Siakam a little tentative tonight for him?
He just didn't seem to. The ball didn't seem to find him much, right? Obviously, they tried to limit his touches. They did a little more switching to keep a body in front of him, and instead of helping on the screen and rolls, etc. He didn't have the ball a lot tonight, except for when he brought it up the floor. So, but yeah, a little bit, but he'll bounce back.